Browns hosting the Chargers on Sunday at FirstEnergy Stadium, their last day of practice here in Berea. And Mary Kay, they have good news coming out of practice today.
Yes, Myles Garrett is going to play in the game. He's coming back after that harrowing crash. It'll be less than 2 weeks when he's out there on the field, but he's ready to get out there and atone for missing that Falcons game. He says, I want to change this game.
Yeah, and getting Myles back is big, Ashley, because we still don't know about Jadeveon Clowney. He's questionable for Sunday's game. Myles seems to want to do everything he can, though, to try and drag Clowney out there.
Yeah, that's not really surprising, and it's just funny after hearing Jadeveon Clowney yesterday sort of say, I'm not going to push myself too far if I'm not ready yet, but Myles Garrett obviously is going to be on his buddy on the defensive line to make sure he gets out there if he can, and obviously it makes Myles Garrett's life a lot easier if Jadeveon Clowney is back out there. He won't be getting as many doubles or chip blocks. Maybe we'll see some of those 3 edge rusher looks the Browns like to throw out there. It just overall, I think, takes more attention, I should say, away from Myles Garrett when Jadeveon's out there.
And the good news, Mary Kay, is Jadeveon did practice today. We hadn't seen him practice the last 2 days, but he at least was on the practice field.
Yeah, that was a really good sign, because last week when Kevin Stefanski told us that he was really, really close to playing, he hadn't even practiced yet. So I think he at least has a chance. He's probably truly one of those 50-50 guys where it could come down to a game time decision. Sometimes they go out on the practice field before the game, they warm up a little bit, see how they feel, and decide if they can give it a go.
And, Ashley, I know that you're going to write about Jedrick Wills. He's been playing really well this year.
He has. I mean, I think it just kind of goes to show what we had been speculating about, that ankle injury is really what impacted him last season. I've talked to guys all week, his teammates, coaches, about what they think was going on with Jed Wills last year compared to this year. And the ankle is the first thing that everyone brings up, because the bottom line is Jed Wills knew what he had to do last year. He just physically was not fast enough to do it. So his numbers aren't perfect yet, but they're definitely a lot better than last year. And I believe he's only given up 3 pressures over the last 2 games. He's got a huge test this week with Khalil Mack coming to town, though.
And Mary Kay, year 3 for Jedrick Wills. You've got to start to make that leap, or the Browns will maybe have to reassess some things. And Jedrick is kind of putting, I think, some doubts at ease so far.
Yeah, I think he is, and I think everyone has the expectation that he's just going to keep coming up that learning curve, put last year behind him, and really become more of that number 10 overall pick that he is. Again, as Ashley mentioned, he will have his hands full with Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack has 5 sacks so far this season, and even Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator, said you really have to kind of chip on Khalil Mack to slow him down.
All right, Browns at Chargers coming up Sunday at 1 o'clock. We'll cover everything around and during the game at cleveland.com/Browns.